Hey guys, Daniel here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about a couple of different options that I have for jacking up my bike. Right, so the first option, this is the one I've had the longest, and this is Enduro Star trail stand. Now I carry this in my toolkit all the time in case I get flat out on the trail. It costs $40 US and you got to pay some shipping on top of that, so I can't remember how much I paid for it. I did buy it like 4 years ago. But yeah, this is it here. It's basically a metal tube with a smaller inside tube with various holes drilled in it. It comes with a bottom piece here which screws on, and then a top piece which is like a little hook, and that screws on the top. And you can adjust it to various heights to suit your motorcycle. So to jack up the rear wheel, it's pretty simple. All I'm going to do is push up on the grab handle here and slide this in on that foot peg mount. You can only jack up one wheel at a time using this stand. There we go. So against the side stand, so on the opposite side, we want to grab the handle and push it up. And slide that under that bolt there. That's the rear wheel jacked up. Now the trail stand does come with a Velcro strap for your front brake lever. I would highly recommend that because that could roll away. I don't have that. I did lose it years ago. If I was going to remove this wheel with that stand, I'll just put a little strap around that, or a cable tie or something like that. I do carry straps with me on the bike, but that will allow you to remove the wheel. I have also had the swing arm and shock off just using that stand, and it's pretty stable. If you get that front brake lever in, it's not going anywhere. Right, for the front of the bike, it is pretty similar. I need it to be a wee bit higher. Now, I did modify my bike so I could jack it up this way. I just modified my bash plate there. I just drilled that little 8mm hole there in the bash plate, and that allows this to just slot in there quite nicely. I did used to jack it up on these slotted holes here, but it doesn't seem to be that stable anymore. So I've just drilled that hole. It gives you a bit more leverage there. For the front wheel, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to grab the handlebar with one hand, slide this in, and I'm just going to push up and again against the side stand, and that is the front wheel free, and that is actually pretty solid. I have, using this method, taken off my steering head bearings and my forks and regrazed everything, and it's been rock solid. Yeah. One thing I would mention, if you are removing more than a wheel, so like a swing arm or your forks or something, I would put something else under there. Now I did have a big ring of firewood or a log, and I just slid that under there, not so it was touching, but just in case the bike did fall, that would catch it and stop it hitting the ground. It didn't actually fall. It's actually, like I said, it's pretty solid there. So that's a real good method to carry with you to take your wheels off on the trail, or even use around the garage. Before I bought my actual jack, this was all I had, and yeah, I had that for a couple of years, and it did fine for lifting the wheels up, taking the wheels off from the DR650. You can do both ends at once if you use this at the front and then combination with a car scissor jack on the rear, but it is pretty dodgy. I did that once, but I probably wouldn't do it again. So that's the Enduro trail stand. I would highly recommend people to have one, carry with them. It is a wee bit expensive, $40 US. You probably could make something similar for cheaper, but this is really well made. I like how it all comes apart and yeah, stores easily on the bike. Right guys, so my next method of jacking up the motorcycle is this here. This is a ATV Jack, or a motorcycle jack. Over here it was called an ATV Jack when I bought it. I got it from Toolshed in New Zealand. Loads of people sell these things. They're all pretty much the same. They range in price from 150 to 250 New Zealand. I think I paid somewhere in the middle there. I've had this for a couple of years now, and yeah, it's great. It's great. It's so simple and easy to use. Right, so on my bike, the DR650, just slide it under. You want to go opposite into your side stand. You want to have it tight to the side stand if you can. It's good I've got the B&B bash plate on here. It jacks up real nice. When it starts to hit, if you just sort of pick the bike up, and it will kind of self-centralize itself. Now whenever you jack something like this up, just release it down onto its locks there. So yeah, as you can see, both wheels are free to spin. Excuse my squeaky rear brake. It's nice and secure on there, it's not going to fall off. It does come with 4 straps, so if you can literally strip the whole bike down on this. If you're taking any more than wheels off, I would recommend strapping it down. Usually go around the handlebar down to here, and then my rear foot peg mounts down to here. I generally wouldn't really worry about it on something like the DR, unless I'm taking more than wheels off. Like I said, it's solid on there, it's not going to fall off. One of the great things about this jack is you can push the bike around, you can spin it round, you can move it around the garage as long as you've got a smooth floor. It does get hung up on stones and cable ties and such like. But it's handy for getting the bike into like the corner of the garage. Yeah, it's easy to use, it's safe, I can lift it high. That, along with my little mechanic's stool here, makes any sort of maintenance on the bike, except for obviously an oil change because the jack's in the way, a breeze. Now I've used this jack on all my bikes, so the DR, the Blackbird, the GS and the Mainstreak. I actually bought it solely for the purpose of doing the suspension on the Mainstreak, and it did that great. The Mainstreak, I did have to lift the bike up to get the jack under it, so I rolled the bike up onto some 1/2-inch plywood, and then I was able to slide the jack under it. I would recommend anybody with any kind of motorcycle to buy a jack like this. I wish I'd bought one years ago. It just makes everything so much easy, even just moving the bikes around the garage. For the likes of the Honda, it's not the best, just with the fairings on and the way the exhaust routes down the bottom. But any sort of like dual sport adventure bike with a bash plate, or even the Mainstreak, which had the side pipe, and just the 2 lower frame tubes is what went on that. Yeah, it was great for that. Right guys, that's about it from this video, just showing you how I jack up my bike. I would recommend at a bare minimum to have a trail stand or some way of lifting the wheels up, or some way of getting the wheels up, some way of lifting the bike up to get your wheels off on the trail. If you're doing any more than that, I would highly recommend a jack like this. It's really a godsend, even just for moving the bikes around the workshop. Right guys, thanks for watching, hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments what kind of jacks you guys have. I would imagine most of you would have one of these or some kind of a trail stand. Let me know if you've got a table lift. That would be an upgrade that I would want to get one day. They are a bit expensive, but yeah, one day I would like to get one of them. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.